From Caterpillars to Butterflies, Episode 4, The Truth About Purpose.
Welcome to the From Caterpillars to Butterflies Personal Growth Podcast. Just like the caterpillar is destined to become a butterfly, you too are designed for a beautiful transformation. This is where you go to grow and transform your life. And now, here's your host, Certified Life Coach, Charlene Dior.
Hey, welcome to the From Caterpillars to Butterflies podcast. I am your host, Charlene, and today we are talking about the truth about purpose. We are so hungry and starved for purpose. It's something that people talk about all the time. And as a coach, I often talk to women who say that they don't know what their purpose is and they want to find it. Everyone's looking for their purpose. And so I will ask these women, well, what do you think it is? What do you think your purpose is? And they will say some variation of, I think it is blank, but ... I think it is teaching. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I've always loved education. I've always loved kids, but I just can't pass the certification test. Or I think it's nursing. I've always wanted to be a nurse, but I just can't afford to go back to school. There's always I think it is, but. I want to help you rid the but behind your purpose with these truths. The first truth, I'm going to give you 5. The first truth about your purpose is that it wants you as much as you want it. Your purpose is not hiding from you. It's not playing hide and go seek. It's not trying to confuse you or trip you up. Your purpose wants you just as much as you want it. And I think when we're asking the question, what is my purpose? I don't think it's the right question. Because I've never talked to someone who's come to me and said, I don't know what my purpose is. And when I ask them, well, what do you think it is? I've never had anyone say, I don't know. I have no idea. There's always an idea. Why? Because your purpose is always talking to you. All the inspirations, all the ideas, all the that would be nices. Doesn't that seem interesting? All these promptings on you are something wanting to communicate with you, to speak to you. And so it's not hiding itself from you. You're just not listening. So when we really want to get clear on what has been communicated to us, and we can start to check in with ourselves and pay attention to who we are and how we see the world around us and how we interact with the world around us. That is really noticing what you're drawn to. There are some things that you feel pulled to. There are some things that light you up. There are some things that inspire you, that excite you, that you love to do and be a part of and be around. And there are other things that you are drawn away from. Like, get me away from here. This doesn't feel right. I don't like it. I don't fit in. Right? And so by acknowledging and noticing how you respond and interact with your world is key to understanding what has been trying to communicate to you. I look at my own life, and there are tons of opportunities that come to me that I don't care about. They come, and I'm not interested, and I never think about them ever again. And then there are some opportunities that come to me, and I can't sleep. And I have so much anxiety on the inside of me. And so if I'm noticing that I care about this thing, this opportunity that's in front of me, then I know that it's key to something that I'm supposed to be doing. Because there are tons of opportunities, there are tons of decisions that I could make that don't mean a thing to me. I just don't care. And so starting to pay attention to what things you care about. What decisions have you been faced with that really were difficult for you? that you pondered over, you hemmed and hawed over? And what are some of the things that you just don't care about? You make a decision like that. I will or I won't. I don't, whatever it is, it is. Paying attention to that can direct you to what you are supposed to be doing, what direction you are supposed to be going into. So the purpose is always communicating with you through your interest, through your personality, through your observation and reactions to the world around you. Things that tick you off, right? And things that fill you up. You're always being communicated with. You have to check in with yourself and pay attention to those things. But it's not a secret. I've never had anyone say I don't know what it is, because it's not a secret. The second truth that I want you to know about your purpose is that it's not a fairy tale. I think that we have this idea that our purpose is supposed to go smoothly. We think it's like walking in a crowded room, and as we walk through the door, everyone to the left and to the right steps back and makes a walkway for us. We think that our purpose is making a walkway for us. It's going to be smooth and easy sailing. But that's not true. Your purpose will pull you. And sometimes it will drag you. Your purpose will leave you bloody and bruised and discouraged at times. And you won't want to go. I look at what I'm doing here. I've embarked on this journey to build up a personal growth company and to be a great coach and really help change lives. And I've invested tens of thousands of dollars to do this. And sometimes I am like, Charlene, why are you doing this? Won't you stop it? Why won't you go spend your money on something else? Go buy a pair of shoes or something. Right? Sometimes I'm just like, I just need a break. But I can't stop. The vision, the purpose keeps pulling me, and it drags me sometimes. It's not easy. It has cost me something. But I can't stop. And I keep doing more, like launching this podcast, because this purpose is pulling me. Years ago, when I first got started in real estate investing, I was having a hard time getting a property. In hindsight, it wasn't that hard. But at the time, it felt like it. So when you're buying real estate for the purpose of investing and building wealth, what you want is to buy a property that is a deal. You want it to be less than the market value, or you want to be able to get more in rent than what your mortgage payment would be, right? So you want to get something that's a deal. Otherwise, it's not an investment, right? It's just buying a house. So I was working with a realtor, and he would send me to houses that were not deals. And he would send me to houses that had been on the market for over a year. And I'm like, dude, I want the same deal that everyone else wants. I don't want the deals that everyone has passed up on for a year. And it just felt so hopeless. And I thought to myself in my conscious mind, Charlene, just wait. Save some more money, get a bigger down payment, take some time. The timing's not right, just wait. That's what my mind is telling myself to do, to just wait. But my fingers keep on dialing phone numbers, keep on dialing the numbers of people that could sell me a house, that could help me buy a house. So I'm thinking to myself, just wait, just stop, just save your money, give it a year, but I can't stop moving my feet, right? That is my purpose pulling me, even when the humanness of who I am says the timing just isn't right. Right? Your purpose wants you as much as you want it, and it pulls you. Even when you want to give up. Even when you're questioning why you're doing it and why you keep investing money and time, your purpose just keeps pulling you. The third truth that I want to tell you about your purpose is that There's more than one. So I just talked about real estate investing, and I talked about personal growth as a company and a business. So you don't have just one purpose. And a lot of times people think that it has to be this or that. Either I'm a mom or I'm a businesswoman. Either I'm this or I'm that. But you can have more than one purpose. And your purpose also evolves. So it's not even that you have one purpose throughout your lifetime. You could, but it's also likely that you have an evolution of a purpose. Bringing it back to the caterpillar and the butterfly, there's a purpose for every stage in that life cycle. The caterpillar has a specific purpose to eat and grow. The cocoon has a purpose to transform. Things happen inside the cocoon. Body parts move positions from one place to another. Some parts start to liquefy, some things go away, some things grow. Something's happening there. The purpose is to facilitate a transformation. And the butterfly has a purpose. The butterfly, once it gets out of the cocoon, its main job is to fly and to go find a mate and to start the cycle all over again. You can have more than one purpose at any given time. You can be working towards multiple things at any given time. And you can also see an evolution and a shift and a growth of your purpose in the various seasons of your life. So it's not just one. The fourth truth that I want to tell you about your purpose is that there will be detours. Sometimes when there's a detour, we start to question our purpose. When a door gets closed on our face, when something doesn't work out how we wanted it to work out, we question if this was in fact our purpose. Years ago, there was a woman who had this great job opportunity in another state, and she was really excited about it. So she quit her job and she canceled her lease on her apartment and moved to this new state. And she didn't know anyone there. She moved there only for this job. And when she got there, the job opportunity was no longer available. So now she's crushed and she's discouraged and she's doubting herself, thinking that she made a mistake, that she took a wrong turn somewhere because she thought that her purpose was in the job, but it may have just been in the state. Your purpose wants you as much as you want it. So it's not going to leave you. You might leave it. You might not pursue it, but it's not going to leave you. And so sometimes there's detours. It's kind of like meditation. When you first start meditating, you're often taught to use a mantra, a statement that you repeat to yourself. And the mantra is designed to help get you to meditation, to get you out of your thoughts and out of the consciousness and decisioning and rationalization that we do in our brains, but just to get to the meditative state. And once you get there, you're supposed to drop the mantra. So the mantra isn't supposed to be the meditation. It's supposed to get you to the meditation. Okay? And so sometimes what we're experiencing in our life isn't supposed to be the purpose, but it is supposed to get you to the purpose. So her leaving her job and taking on this new job wasn't the purpose. It was to get her to the purpose, because she wouldn't have moved to that state, which was a critical part of her journey and her purpose, if it had not been for that job. But once she got there, she got to drop the job, right? Like you dropped the mantra, she dropped the job. She didn't want to drop it, but it was dropped because it was no longer needed. So the detours are not a signal that you are on the wrong path. Sometimes it looks like you're headed a certain direction because that's where you need to go for that leg of your journey. But when you're no longer needed on that particular road, you take a detour off. But it's still in alignment with your purpose. That is the fourth truth, that there will be detours and things that catch you by surprise because you thought it was something else. And I know that that sounds contradictory to the first thing that I said, that I often ask women or people who I talk to, well, what do you think your purpose is, right? So I said earlier that because it's not trying to hide itself from you. And so now it might sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I'm not. The ideas and the beliefs and the knowledge that you have about your purpose now might not be the final destination, but it is critical to getting you to the final destination. So even when you ask yourself, well, what do I think it is? You could be wrong, but that insight and awareness is an important part of you getting to the destination. Now, the fifth truth that I want to tell you about your purpose. When someone says, I want to know what my purpose is, it implies that they have a belief in God or a higher power. It implies that they believe that God has sent them to this earth for a specific purpose, and they want to find it. Because if they did not believe that God gave them a purpose, then they wouldn't be asking, what's my purpose? They would just go choose one. They would go create their own purpose. But the fact that they're seeking a purpose means that they believe in God. And that makes the first point even more so true. Because if God gave you the purpose and it's a part of His plan, He wants you to know what it is. It's not a secret. And so I think when we're asking ourselves, what's our purpose? We tend to be asking the wrong questions. Because your purpose isn't hiding from you. What's your purpose isn't the right question. And when we feel this hunger for a purpose, what we are really feeling is a hunger for God, because God has given you the purpose. The void that you feel in your life, the lack of direction, the unfulfillment, the dissatisfaction is not a lack of purpose. It is a lack of connectedness to God. A lack of oneness to God. So the question is not, what is my purpose? The question is, how can I get closer to God, the giver of the purpose? That's the question. So how can you improve your spiritual practice? And what can you do differently? So how can you enhance your spiritual practice to get closer to God, to have more of a oneness with God? That's really what you're seeking. That's really what your hunger is about. It's about God. It's not about your purpose. So I want to leave you with a quick recap of the 5 truths and also some things that I want you to reflect on, which is really going to be a reminder of things I've already said. So the 5 truths about your purpose. 1, your purpose wants you as much as you want it. 2, your purpose is not a fairy tale. It will pull you and drag you. It's not sugar and spice. 3, you can have more than one purpose and it can evolve throughout your lifetime. 4, there will be detours. They are not an indication that you're on the wrong track. Expect them. And the 5th truth is that what you think is a hunger for purpose is actually a hunger for God. So some questions that I want you to reflect on as you're thinking about your purpose. 1, what do you think it is? What are some things you feel drawn to? What are things that bother you and tick you off? What things are you interested in? In knowing that no one has ever said to me, I have no idea what my purpose is, the other question that I think we should be asking is, why am I afraid of my purpose? Why am I reluctant to claim it as true? What's holding me back? What insecurities do I have? And what areas do I feel unworthy or unqualified? What is stopping you from claiming what you already know to be true. And the last question I'd like you to reflect on is, how can you get closer to God? And so you can journal on these questions. You can just reflect and on your own. You can talk with a friend about it. You can schedule a clarity call with me to talk about it. Just go to www.fromcaterpillarstobutterflies.com. But these are the questions that I want you to spend some time thinking and reflecting on as you are sorting through the truth about your purpose.
And now, a moment of meditation. If you're not driving, cooking, or doing anything that requires your full attention, take a deep breath and close your eyes as Charlene leads you into an inspiring meditation.
This meditation is to help you get in touch with your purpose. Take another deep breath in, and on the exhale, feel your body relax. Let's do another inhale, and on the exhale, feel your body relax even more. Now I want you to imagine or pretend that your purpose is sitting next to you. And here's your opportunity to ask of it anything you'd like to know. Look over to your purpose and ask your purpose what it wants you to do next. Purpose, what would you have me do next? And just listen. You're not listening from your thoughts or your brain or your mental space. You're listening from your heart, your soul, your intuition. If it helps, place both hands on your heart. And again, ask your purpose what it wants you to do next. And just listen. And you can ask your purpose any other questions you want to know. You might ask your purpose, what does it want you to know about it? Purpose, what should I know about you and the role you want to play in my life? And just listen. And any other questions you have for your purpose, ask it. And then listen with your heart. On the count of 3, I want you to open your eyes, feeling more connected and more in tune with your purpose. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes, feeling more in tune and more connected with your purpose. And I want to encourage you to grab a pen and paper right now and jot down anything that came up for you during this meditation. If nothing came up for you, which is perfectly normal, that's okay. I want you to just practice being able to hear from your intuition, right? Because I said earlier that a hunger for purpose is a hunger for God. And so when we are asking your purpose to tell you what it wants you to know, what you're really saying is, God, what do you want me to know? What do you want me to do next? what's your plan for my life? And so you just need to get good at being able to listen from your heart. And so continue to practice this and always have a pen and paper close by when you do this so that you can immediately jot down anything that comes up for you. And just remember that you're not listening with your thoughts. If you're thinking, you're not listening. So you're not listening with your thoughts, you're listening with your heart. And make this a practice until it becomes more and more clear to you what it is you want to know from your purpose, from God, from life. Whatever discernment decisions that you need to make, you can do it. Make it a practice to be able to hear from your heart, to be able to hear from your spirit, so that you can move forward in the direction that is best for you to move forward in. Until next time, grow on purpose.
Thanks for listening to the From Caterpillars to Butterflies podcast, your one-stop shop for all things personal growth. For today's show notes and even more tools and resources to help you transform the life you have into the life you love, go to www.fromcaterpillarstobutterflies.com.